Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading for February 2023. This is going to be for Gemini Sun, my fellow Gemini Moons, and Gemini Rising. You could certainly be intuitively guided to the reading, or you're here checking up, I hate to say checking up, but you're just looking at where a certain Gemini's energy is at. So whatever brought you, welcome guys. We're going to go ahead and use 4 different decks. We're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. We'll begin with her. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to do any clarifying. I'm going to use the Angel Tarot also as an oracle, for short, sweet message. We'll see. They're not always sweet. And for your main spread, I'm going to use the Light Tarot. Okay? So let's go ahead and begin. And let's start with Mother Mary. Everything's pre-shuffled, but I like to give it a shuffle or two with you here. So let's give them a cut. And let's begin. Okay, well, that just flew out. It just kind of like lifted out. Father. Interesting. Who did I just do? Taurus. They got Mother. You got Father. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. Father. Often when I get these energies, I want to say, I feel like some are about fathers who are now your guides. I feel like my father is now one of my guides. And it's interesting. I don't know why. I feel like I need to tell you real quick. Like I had a reading done by a psychic once, and she said, my father said, I didn't know, Sandy, I didn't know. And I knew exactly what she meant, like some hardships that I had gone through. I have a Virgo sun, so I tend to keep to myself. So he didn't know. Anyway, let's also talk about repeat patterns, like something like energy of your father that you then, especially if you're female, like a lot of times we then, we search for that energy, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. And maybe it's just because we're meant to learn something from that. But let's go ahead and we'll read that at the end. It's where it's most profound. We'll read it from the book. But it'll definitely let us know why it's here in the reading. Alright, let's bring in the Angel Tarot. Give them a cut. I've been saying this often. This is a deck that just like not naturally, just appeared on my bookcase. I know you've heard the story, and I know I didn't buy them since I've been here in my new place. Well, almost 3 years now. So I don't know, but I do feel like a couple different things. First of all, I don't normally buy cards that have words like written on them, but these do. So I find, like, for anyone who's new, who's still learning the meaning of the cards, these may certainly help. All right. Well, we got one card, one person. King of Pentacles. Compassionate, accomplished, grounded, a time of great success, financial security and prosperity, the Midas touch, everything turns out beautifully, a supportive parent and spouse, a good person to work for. So, King Pentacles, you know, can mean a million different things. Can certainly mean an earth sign for some of you. Some of you, your father may have been earth, or earth was prominent in their chart. Often when I think of the King of Pentacles, I think of someone who, you know, when I look at my life, I look at the big picture. It's not the only way I meant to look at it. Think of the Queen, you know, she's looking for those details in between, and for Gemini, that's important for you. But let's see, we're going to keep him out here though, since there's only one. And let's bring in the Light Seers. Some of you could certainly mean that there is some type of opportunity headed your way, and could be working for someone, collaborating with someone, and then I read a good person to work for. We shall see. All right. Let's go ahead and shuffle. All right, with the Knight of Cups came flying out. Wow, this is unexpected. That's what the energy is all about. It's something that's unexpected. It's some cup of fulfillment. It's something that should fulfill you emotionally, but it may even fulfill you financially. But this is definitely, you know, when I see this Knight, I can't help but think about love, because he's got red roses in his hand, first of all. Some of you, it's interesting because, you know, like this blanket that's laid down here, almost like I'm waiting for you. It's almost like I sent someone a letter and now they're waiting. Now, maybe that just means subconsciously. Got a white horse behind him, so I feel it's pure. And I feel, you know, casual. Now, I don't mean like casual, like a casual love affair, but I feel like casual energy within this. Almost like, you know, I'll wait. Because it looks like that's what he's doing, even though this is about this Knight coming into your life. He feels kind of patient at the same time. Some of you may have a King of Pentacles coming in. Look at that. It's like the Knight. The Knight knocked this Knight. Knight of Swords knocked the Knight of Cups around there for a second. Two Knights side by side. One is a cup of fulfillment, and maybe the Knight of Swords is telling us how we receive it. It may be through some type of communication. Three Swords, but it is in reverse. Shall I leave it in reverse? We'll leave it in reverse. But, you know, for some of you, could talk about a period of time where, you know, because first of all, Three Swords is mirrored by this King. And with the Three Swords in reverse, it feels like, you know, it doesn't mean that there wasn't heartache, but I no longer allow the heartache to rule me, right? It's almost like, and this can even talk about someone of the past. We'll see. You know, someone who, maybe at one time you broke their heart. Maybe you didn't even mean to. And maybe it's never been expressed. But I feel like it's going to. But I mean it in the most loving of ways. You know, whether this be this lifetime, another lifetime, I feel like it's almost like you know, because I feel like if it's this lifetime, there's been definitely some distance in time. Especially with the king showing up, right? The king to me means a mature level. All right, well, let's just keep going. We have the Hangman. Okay. Well, that would certainly represent what I feel like is time. Like time in between maybe one encounter to the next. The Hangman is seeking wisdom. This hangman, or this person in the hangman, may be asking themselves, should I take a chance? Look at this, 3 cups. 3 cups, so we have 2 threes, 3 swords, but it's in reverse. 3 cups, it's in the upright. Coming right under the Knight. Three of Cups talks about celebration. Something that's joyful. It's almost like hearing from someone that you totally did not expect to hear from, and then you hang up, and then who's the first person or people you call? You know, I don't feel like it's something I'm like shouting to the world, but I am shouting to the closest people, like, wow, you won't believe this. We have the Page of Wands. Look at this, we have the Devil. Card of Capricorn, first of all. Coming under that 3 swords. Mirrored by the Hangman. Listen, first of all, if I feel like for some, this could talk about someone who's coming back into your life. It doesn't mean you were even romantically attached. Maybe some of you weren't, but I do feel like this person potentially at least had a crush on you. Like you like whenever the separation happened, I feel like it broke this king's heart. And I'm saying the king can be a queen. Just know that. I feel like it's more how this king is now looking at this situation, right? And I feel like this king realizes that there may have been, you know, some illusionary type energy back then that I feel like, first of all, this person wants to make sure that there's nothing negative of the past that can affect, that will or could affect the present, like how they see it in their mind. I think we're going to keep going. We have Judgment. That doesn't surprise me. Because first of all, this is your spiritual team, but it's also this king's spiritual team. You know what I mean? Like, we all have our own. And maybe some are shared, I don't know. But Judgment is a call to the present moment. It's about a rebirth, and it's interesting that the Hangman is above it. So I feel like what's ever been on hold, for whatever the reason, no longer on hold. We have the Strength card. Card of Leo. It's like the taming of the shrew. You know, I can't help but notice the 8 that's tattooed on her arm, as above, so below. 8s also represent allowing yourself to have new beginnings. You know, Strength card is about learning to tame the beast within. And with the Devil here, it could talk about, you know, like addictions. It could talk about, you know, things that pull to you that, you know, are of illusionary, like almost like things that make you feel stuck in them, but you're not. You're not. What am I holding? Strength card. You know, and 8 is always about self. So, like, nobody can really help me overcome me except for me. Now, my guides can. They can help. But I feel like of an earthly nature, this is something that I have to figure out. But I feel like you, or if it's them, they do. And why would I say that? Why do I feel that confident? Because I feel like judgment wouldn't come out otherwise. You know, because judgment is all about a rebirth and allowing yourself to have a rebirth in your life. The 3 of Swords is in reverse, whether that be for you, them, or both. It is in reverse. It feels like, you know, the things that used to tempt me don't hold that power over me anymore. And again, it can be for you and for them. There may be a lot of similarities. And again, this doesn't even have to mean that you were romantically attached. But I feel like some way, somehow, this person sees you, hears from you, or I don't even know. I just feel like in some way it's like they feel guided to now reach out. And again, I feel like this is someone who, you know, had carried you with them. Like almost like you're in their back pocket. I mean, this poor knight keeps getting beat up. Alright, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. Normally, I don't like to see the 9 of Pentacles in reverse because the 9 of Pentacles really talks about independence. It talks about successful self-employment. It talks about, you know, someone who values stability. You know, it's almost like if I don't feel stable, then the rest of my life doesn't feel stable. But I feel like it's in reverse because it is a very independent type energy. Now, I don't feel like you lose that, but I feel what it's saying, especially with the Page of Wands above it, which is very much like my Fool. I just feel like you're moving from being single, let's just say, to, well, let's say at least dating. Let's just say that, but we'll find out. I hope. 7 of Pentacles, interesting, but it's in reverse. You know what? I feel like this is talking about timing again. 7 of Pentacles, you know, it's to me, it's what's meant to be. Like these are different experiences my soul really wanted to have. Why? So that I could expand. You know, if you think of Earth as a classroom and we're here to learn, we're here to grow, right? And there are rewards, you know. It's just like going through high school. At the end of that, you get a diploma. You get a piece of paper. You know what I mean? But you get a sense of accomplishment at the same time. It's like going for your master's degree. You know? Well, maybe nobody celebrates it, but you do. Anyway, 7 of Pentacles, you know, it's also a lesson in patience. Interesting that it's mirroring Judgment, which is the same thing, right? But Judgment is like, okay, now what was on hold, it's time to start moving again. You know, I don't even mind seeing the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, because I feel like, you know, whatever this Three of Swords may be, if you feel like you've overcome it or they've overcome it, that is a lesson for your soul. And that should be, you know, like rewarded and not the other. Now, I do kind of feel like two people are meant to be. Doesn't mean they have to be, right? Doesn't mean my life will suck if it doesn't come about. You know, maybe it's just saying whatever's coming for you is just coming in an unexpected way. But I feel like whatever has been on hold is now in movement. Okay. Well, we have the Six of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Maybe somebody heard that you have left a certain situation or a certain person. Maybe it's just something you posted. And it's like, that's all the king needed to hear. Eight of Pentacles below that. Okay, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. Let's go deeper, because I really don't feel like we need clarifying, but I do feel like we could go deeper. You know, and 7, we're in a universal year 7. Maybe it wasn't meant to happen until this year. Very spiritual year. You know, it is a year. I like the Strength card being here, because it is a year where we're really going within. And look at your spiritual team right beside you, right? And it's like, you know, if I have questions this year, go within. All right, here we go. All right, we have 3 cups again, coming right over this king. You know, this king may have enjoyed, like, you know, a drink here and there, or here and there and there, and here and there and here. And it may be something that, you know, in, let's just say, in our heyday, it was a big part of it. I don't feel like that's the case now. All right, well, first of all, we have the Page of Swords. You know, I feel like what this is saying is some of you already feel this energy. And by the way, don't think this can't be flipped. You know what I mean? Maybe you hear someone who now has cleared certain energy. Maybe you're the one who says, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take that chance, right? Maybe, I feel like if you lived in their heart, well, then you must potentially, they must somewhat live in yours. Anyway. Page of Swords. I feel like I'm going to get communication. I just feel it. Ace of Wands. Well, right over the Knight of Swords. You know, it's interesting because you may hear from someone and there may be a long conversation. And that conversation may cover, like, you know, the things that kind of held me down in life. And you may hear this from them, like, you know, I know that, you know, I know that now. I didn't know that then, but I know that now. And you may have that conversation, and you may need, you know, like, maybe in a way you need that. Because I feel like first the conversation, and then I feel like it moves into action. You know, your spiritual team is telling you to take action. The Ace of Wands is all about action. But it's saying yes to the beginning of something passionate, desirable. We already know it's going to be fulfilling. Ace of Wands. I feel like the Ace of Wands, now mirrored by the Nine of Pentacles, makes complete sense, right? Like, here I am in my independent life, just living my independent self, being my independent self. You know, I'm not looking for nothing, and then boom. Unexpected. We have the Six of Pentacles coming over the Three of Swords. You know, I feel like this is talking about someone's growth. Because I feel like there was a time where it was all about me. You know, and hey, listen, maybe I grew up that way. I grew up in a way where there was little. So it's almost like I had to fight for, you know, like every morsel. So I grew up with that mentality, and then it just kind of followed me. So it was about me. But now I know that. And I regret it. But I want to start anew. If you'll have me. You know, this means I have learned that to live a balanced life, I have to be willing and able. And it's not even that I have to be willing. I already want to give. I want to give. Interesting how it was all about me, but now all I want to do is give. And not only do they want to give to the world, they want to give to you. Wow. I feel like that was right from their guides. We have the Seven of Cups that came in reverse. Interesting, because I feel like this king, and I know I keep saying king, and it's funny because my male memberships have dropped tremendously. And I think because, you know, you guys feel like I leave you out, but I don't. I just want you to put yourself in the reading. Like, if you feel like, you know, let's say, you know, no matter what, like you feel like it's you in the Strength card, then it's you in the Strength card. Anyway, I feel like this king, you know, it's interesting because I feel like he played it over and over and over and over and over in his head. Over and over in his head, another 7. And interesting how, again, it's in reverse. But this is good because, you know, this means the king has been trying to make this decision. And with it being in reverse, coming over the Hangman, a decision has been made. And it's not even a decision, like just, can I? It's almost like I've always wanted to, but can I, should I? But something just seems like perfect timing. We have the World, the next chapter, the next portal, the next pinnacle. You know, but I feel like the World chapter is for the rest of your life. Doesn't mean that there won't be changes, new beginnings, blah, blah, blah. But it probably means that, let's just say this comes together and you say yes, that this probably is something that's going to last a lifetime. We have the Nine of Cups over this page. Oh my gosh, and look at this. And then we have the Two of Cups. So soulmate energy. You know, I already knew that. I didn't need to see the card, but I'm glad it came out because I think some of you needed to see that. Now, I'm not trying, again, it's like, don't put false hope on something. But then again, this is unexpected. I don't know. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Two of Cups. Some of you directly connected to a Capricorn. And others, I feel like it's just talking about these two people and the growth. You know, they're certainly on the same vibration. They're looking eye to eye. Eye to eye. And to me, that is like being able to see someone's soul. Nothing is hidden. It's almost like the devil tried. Nine of Cups. And I love that the Nine of Cups came out because this is about inner harmony. This is about finding that within yourself, you know, and what I really feel in this energy is I don't feel like I have to have something out there to fulfill me. Doesn't mean I wouldn't accept it, because I feel like you are accepting it. Almost like, you know, it's almost like you yourself, let's just say, got a divorce. And let's just say the divorce was hard and it was messy, but like you're coming to the end of it. You're coming to the end of it. And I don't know. I almost feel like, you know, then so on my Facebook, I put that I'm single. And then someone sees that. I feel like these two people, you know, let's just say in their younger years, definitely had some darker influence upon them. But I feel like really the main reason why, because I don't feel like, listen, doesn't mean that you weren't meant to meet and that spark wasn't meant to happen, even if it was just a friendship spark. But I don't feel like the timing of the forever after was then. But man, you lived in someone's heart. C'est la vie, whatever will be, will be. The future is ours to see. King of Swords. These two came in reverse. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be any of that, though. You know that. You can certainly just talk about, you know, some dishonesty. I feel like this king is really who is in the Five of Swords. Now, again, doesn't mean that this king up here can be like a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, because again, read the energy versus like the sign. Okay, if you can, if you would. So, because he's in reverse, I feel like, you know, he definitely carries a negative energy. And I feel like it took you a moment to overcome it. But then we have, look at this, the Three of Swords. Again, the Three of Swords, but again, in reverse. Coming right over the Strength card. we can't just look at this king and say this king had something that he had to overcome or she had to overcome. And it wasn't until that when it was perfect timing. No, because I feel like in the same breath, there was something that you overcame, that you had to separate yourself from, that wasn't good for you. And I feel like you did that. And the Three of Swords in reverse, I feel like the heartache of it doesn't remain. Like maybe I left someone that I thought, but at the end of it, it's like, ugh. And listen, I feel like after that, like being on my own, it feels good. Six of Cups. Wow. I don't know. I just feel like these readings are so clear. Now, I guess for me, right? Because I do it every day, multiple times a day. But how interesting that the Six of Cups would now come up. So this is someone of the past. This is someone that you would have some type of happy memories about. This could be someone from your hometown, especially with father there too. Could be someone who knew your father. Maybe they even worked for your father. Anyways, Six of Cups. Wow. Just changes everything. Okay, I'm not going to take all them. No way. We have the Five of Swords coming over the reversal of the Seven of Pentacles, the Devil. Interesting. I want to look at that Five of Swords a little closer because on one hand, I feel like this Five of Swords is tied back to the Six of Swords. And I feel like that was part of, let's just say, the timing of this whole situation that's about to come into your world. I feel like, because I feel like, it was important. And maybe that both soulmates cleared the energy, because the Five of Swords is like what has been toxic to me, and then even what has landed in my mind, in my brain, in my thought system, right? But the Six of Swords tells me that that has been cleared. I also feel like this could have been someone where back in the day there wasn't great communication, and maybe that's what they want to come in and talk about. But it's so weird because I'm feeling like if there were arguments or something, like it's like the universe was trying to get you two apart because, and I know that sounds like cruel, right? But it's not. Maybe because I often feel if that's the case, it's because there's something important for you to accomplish in your lifetime, and there's something important for them to accomplish in their lifetime. And then when the timing is right, the timing is right. So I can't regret. Alright. Well, I'm not going to leave it at the Five of Swords anyway. But it does make sense. Five of Swords mirrored by that King of Swords in reverse. Okay. First of all, okay, well, we have more than one there, and we have one, two cups, or I'm sorry, the Two Pentacles. Interesting because 2 and 2, right? One's 2 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles, you know, they call it the Juggler's card, but I feel like it's using the logical mind of, you know, when this presents itself, or if I'm presenting it to another, you know, is it something that's going to expand your life, your world? Is it, or is it something that's not? And this is really using your logical mind. All right, what else do we have over here? We have the 9 of Wands. We have the 10 of Swords. And then we have the Page of Cups. Interesting. All right, I'm saying interesting because I don't know why sometimes I'm like, it's because I feel it all. You know what I mean? So like, like by the time I'm done with the reading, I'm telling you, like I'm emotionally exhausted. But that's okay because it's like, to me, it's like reading like a story. So it always piques my interest. So I don't know why I'm telling you all that. Anyway, the 9 of Wands over here, I feel like it's just about the reflection of my past, whether it be you or them or both, the reflection and really how you have grown because of it. You know, it talks about your own actions, your own responsibility within it, but it's like the type of reflection that if I'm willing to do it, I can really gain some spiritual muscles, and I'll have those for eternity. And then you have the 10 of Swords, and I feel like it's just talking about a repeat pattern. And it may be this king over here, you know what I mean? Or it could have been like this person, like maybe you kept going back to someone, or, you know, someone just gave you sword after sword after sword. So finally you left, right? And then the Page of Cups to follow that means, I feel like, you know, learning to love you again in your life again. It's wanting more, like wanting more. This is the year to want more. But then also, like the Ace of Wands presents itself, the Knight of Cups presents itself, the Knight of Swords presents itself. What do you do with that? 2 of Cups presents itself. And I'm saying all that because I feel like in the Page of Cups, what you are allowing yourself to do is have more adventures, have more emotional relationships, but also with yourself. And it's also interesting because this page is connected to the 6 of Cups. Man, do I feel the synchronicities. Doesn't surprise me. This was a love reading. I mean, you know, I didn't make it out to be one. But it is what it is. All right, I think let's read the Father. And let's see. This card comes to you because your question is rooted in your relationship with your father. Even though this connection may not be immediately understood, this card acknowledges the link. Most likely, old emotions concerning your father are affecting your present situation. If a memory surfaces as you read this, trust this pathway to lead you to healing. Recalling a painful memory isn't pleasant, but it's an important step towards releasing negative patterns. 10 of Swords. If you have old heavy-hearted feelings about Dad, take a moment now to say, God and Mother Mary, thank you for helping me heal and release, and then name the emotions or situation with my father so that he and I can be free. Amen. I love you, Gemini. I'm just sitting here thinking, what am I going to name this? What am I going to name this? I don't know. I love you though. I thank you. And I will see you next time. I mean, next time at our table, we're going to be looking at spring. Well, I shouldn't say that, because hopefully you'll be part of other readings I do before that. And don't forget to check out your year in review. In January, you know, it may flow. I don't know. I have so many readings out there now that, and I do them for you guys. I do them to help you, you know, and sometimes you're intuitively guided to readings that seem outside your chart. You learn to trust that, right? Not just with myself, but with others, you know. And if you feel, even with me, like I don't know, like you gotta, I don't even know the word to say. Trust yourself above all. All right. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.